Good morning, YouTuber family. Jonny Cashflow here, and I'm going to see you. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Today, we are talking about the Cashflow Manifesto, everything I learned from my millionaire mentors. It was a book that I wrote 5 years ago, interviewed six self-made multimillionaires that I met and was mentored by in business, and developed this book and this concept around. And today I want to share with you guys the first section of the book. It's Problems of the Status Quo. So back in my speech and debate days, it's performance pieces and social speeches is what I did back in the day during speech and debate. And every social speech or argument is, if it's properly developed, is in the form of problem, cause, solution, or cause, effect, solution, right? So I developed this book and this thesis about the cash flow manifesto, the concept of the 5 year plan, and getting away from the older concept of the 40-40 plan, developed this book with that same, oratory, argumentative style in mind. So section one of the book is problems, section two is the causes, and then section three is the solution. I hate nothing more than a story or documentary that just gives me a bunch of problems and causes. And then there's no real solution at the end. I think of a lot of very popular documentaries in the last few years. Think of an unfortunate truth. It was like, all these problems, all these causes, 5 minutes of solution, I guess we're screwed. That's what I took from it. Maybe I'm being overly critical, but I digress. I'll do that a lot. Remember, keep me focused, guys. But anyways, so the first thing I want to talk about, and this I want to try to put a summation around the section one, problems of the status quo portion of the book. So chapter one, I actually made a faceless YouTube video about called Do You Feel Like You've Been Lied To? And it's the whole concept of, we were raised with this idea that, well, you can decide what you want to do, and then you go to college for what you want to do, and then you go to the work that you're going to make the money, and that's going to allow you to save up and or you have a pension, and then you retire after 30 years, and everything's great. And we've realized, that concept has saddled us with record high personal debt, record high school debt. It has wasted a lot of time, money, and energy in people kind of pursuing a prescription for success, which is outdated. So that's kind of the whole thesis of chapter one. There is a thesis of chapter two and three, which I'm going to share. And then if you stay to the end of this video and like and subscribe to the video and get notifications with the bell, little bell thing. I didn't know about the bell until about 3 years into watching YouTube. There's a little bell that makes it jingles every time I post a video. So you can see me. I can be your alarm or something. I can wake you up every morning at 7 a.m. when I post these. But anyway, do all that, and I'll share a secret at the end in terms of one of the most critical concepts that I learned from my multimillionaire mentors and the distinction between the path that we're taught and the path that we want to be on. So I'm going to essentially read chapter two and three. It's only 5 pages. I try to keep it brief, but again, you stay with me and I will share those secrets at the end. So I hope you stay with me. It really was, I'm alluding to it. I'm kind of joking about it. Like, oh, it's this mysterious thing. What could it be? What curiosity thing is this YouTuber taught? It literally changed my life when I learned it. When I learned it 8 years ago, the thing that I will share at the end of this video, it revolutionized my life. And I was already, how many years? I was already 8 years into my journey of pursuing entrepreneurship, and it changed the trajectory of my vision and understanding of what entrepreneurship is, what success is, and what's possible. So, you know, stick around after chapter 2 and 3. So, if you, chapter 2, if you stop working today, how long can you survive? If you stop working today, how long can you survive? Once said, I freed 1,000 slaves and I would have freed 1,000 more if they knew they were slaves. Slavery meant working and being provided room and board, and obviously also involved a lot of abuse and crimes against humanity. But corporate slavery is working for money to pay for room and boarding. They say the truth will set you free, but they don't tell you that it'll probably piss you off first. The fact is, you are not truly free, financially free, with total control of time and money. I want the right type of money so that I can truly be a human being instead of a human doing work to build others' wealth. This is the myth of hard work. That if you just work hard at your job, you'll create wealth. Yet, an employee always has a lesser opportunity than someone who has ownership in a business. The reason is because you will not make more than your boss if you outwork your boss. You create wealth. To create wealth, you need to do the right type of work. When you pick a career, everything else in your lifestyle is determined. Instead of asking us as children, what do you want to be? You should have asked us, how do you want to live? And work backwards from options that can give those results. The mentality is to do the stuff most people don't want to do now, to live later like most people never will. However, the details are irrelevant without fundamentals, and the majority of people only have understanding of employment W-2 income. A good education can get you a good job, but the right education will give you the right type of money to not need a job. In order to have time, you need the right type of money as opposed to a certain amount. The purpose in presenting this information is not for me to make a career of writing books. Is also not about get rich quick schemes, and I'm not trying to convince anyone on a particular business. My hope is to proliferate this information to the world to have the largest impact possible. There are a lot of self-proclaimed gurus, false prophets there, I call them, but if their cash flow systems are so good, why do they need to sell educational materials? The answer is that education and the dream of financial independence is their system. My goal is to write this one book as succinctly as possible to help you change the way you think about the way money is made and how we all have potential to build a wealth of both time and money. Most people either have time or money, but control of both is my definition of true financial freedom. There is a progression from struggle to survival to success to significance. And I believe there is nothing more significant than helping people achieve financial freedom. Most don't even know that this is attainable for the average person. But we all need financial freedom to live truly prosperous lives. Life is time, but quality of life is the control of time and money. Discretionary time is the currency of achievement. The goal is not to make money, it's to make time. Problem is, it takes a lot of money to have time, or it just takes a good amount of the right recurring cash flows to have time. It comes down to, do you work for your money or does your money work for you? I want to help people catch a vision instead of being more concerned with catching a Pokemon, but I'm weird. I'd rather have my face in a book than be on Facebook. Every world-changing vision I have requires money. The YOLO generation should realize we only live once, which means we should do something of significance with this one life. I want to build my eulogy more than my resume. I am just a very normal person with very big dreams. To accomplish your big dreams, it needs to bring you to tears, or it needs to get you angry. If you've ever heard the analogy of the dog on a nail in small suit, a dog is sitting next to his owner and howling. A man approaches the patio and says, "Why is he howling?" The owner answers, "Well, because he's sitting on a nail." When asked, "Well, why doesn't he move?" the owner replies, "It doesn't hurt him enough." You will only pursue a different result if the pain of the same is worse than the pain of change. We get what we tolerate. If it's important, you'll find a way. If it's not, you'll find an excuse. You want to invest your time and money into things that are scalable. Instead of sacrificing what you want now, money, for what you really want, time. If you know what you're worth, why do you give your work a discount? Why are you willing to discount your dreams to match your income instead of growing your income to match your dreams? Financial intelligence is what makes you wealthy. Robert Kiyosaki identified 4 dimensions of financial intelligence: how to make it, protect it, budget it, and leverage it to have your money work for you. In this book, I want to focus on how money is made and the best ways to leverage your time and money to accomplish economic freedom. What's better, to own an Audi dealership or a garbage company? A garbage company, because you can serve the masses of a community with a service that will always be needed. The person who invented porta potties is passionate about poop. Your passion will often lead you astray from what will give you the results you desire. Many people say they would only be interested in a business that dealt with something that they were passionate about. The problem with that is that what you're passionate about may not be of interest to many people and may not be able to make you a living, which is the basic function of a business. Additionally, people make that stipulation on entrepreneurship, but they don't make that stipulation on their job. Do you say you need to be passionate about it to accept a job? After all, how many times do you hit the snooze button when you are waking up for the job you most likely to pretend to be so excited about? Why Ferrari is a $10 billion brand and toilet paper is a $200 billion industry is as simple to understand as the fact that every toilet paper user will not get a Ferrari. Every Ferrari user will get toilet paper. Ray Kroc didn't turn McDonald's into an empire from having the best quality burgers. They became an empire because they created a profitable system they duplicated through other business owners. McDonald's is an opportunity business, not a burger business. You don't know Ray Kroc. He blew up McDonald's. He built the McDonald's empire. I'll talk about it later. Chapter 3. Do you feel like a thoroughbred on a merry-go-round? Do you feel like a thoroughbred on a merry-go-round? The secrets of your future is in your daily routines. The problem is people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in 2, 5, or 10 years. And most quit before they see what they are capable of. We quickly forget that our deliverance is at the other end of our obedience. The future of wealth creation lies in business models that can elevate the financial well-being of all people, which brings peace through economic opportunity and abundance. I want pom-pom, peace of mind, and plenty of money. The richest in the world build networks. Everybody else looks to work. When you look at the top 10 list of the richest families in the world, you will see the recurring theme of them capitalizing on everyday commodity products, related industries like bottling companies. Don't have your autobiography said, I did what I was told, the end. Every human being is born with greatness, but we are programmed for mediocrity. Keep in mind that success is not for the chosen few, it is for the few that choose. I believe in taking advice from people who have fruit on the tree in areas that I am seeking, as opposed to just the trees closest to me, like friends and family, or television, or any other superfluous influences. But your ambition will reveal others' apathy. Why do we limit ourselves to opinions of people who don't have the results we want in our life? My worst nightmare is to be 50, 60, 70, or 80 and looking for a new job. If you ever knew, if everyone you ever knew only crawled their whole lives, and then you see someone walking, running, everybody would think that person was crazy, even though it was much more efficient. Every revolution starts with one crazy guy dancing alone in few people become a group, and a group becomes a movement. Don't fear change in order to succeed. Fear success in something that doesn't matter. The simple idea is to find a group of people who have the lifestyle that you want and convince them to mentor you. Show me your mentor, I'll show you your future. But if you have no mentor, you're living your future. it is important to understand the value of mentorship and being open to coaching. What is the best way through a minefield? After someone who has gone through it, you have tracks to follow. Just make sure to stop where the tracks end. How does a sports coach critique your performance? To make you better. Most people won't drink from the fountain of knowledge. They just gargle. Please don't just gargle the information and listen. All right, family, you've made it. You've made it to the secret portion. Ooh, let's make it super spooky. Secret, right? We're gonna whip out all the secrets. I was telling you, I wasn't joking. I was like building anticipation and whatnot, but I wasn't like joking. That like it's spooky. I like that. You can see the whole green. You got my whole, you got my whole, you know, my whole Matrix vibe going on now. Okay, this is good. This even turned out better than I thought. That's good. Oh, you know what? Oh, we got one more. Ooh, you gotta flip it. You gotta flip it with the secrets. Ooh. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. All right. That's I like hitting nice. Ooh, boy, we got more green. I think the screen went crazy. Anyways, all right. So this isn't a 30-minute video. I'm gonna hit you with this quick ESP. Boom. My mic. There. Just drop it. Boom. All right. So here's the whole concept. All right. You shouldn't pick a career. You should pick a quadrant. What are quadrants? Well, there's 4 quadrants. Boy, Robert Kiyosaki talked about the 4 quadrants of money earning. Okay. So the 4 quadrants are employment, small business, big business, living, little T-chart, little quadrants. Okay, on this side is the employment and the small business. On this side, big business. So 500 plus employees or investments. Okay. Most people know what employment is. W-2, 1099. I show up. I give you a certain amount of my energy, my time, mostly. Usually, it's measured in some amount of time, either it's a salary or hourly. I give you my time. You give me money. That's it. So, supposedly everybody happy, but the person who's usually happier is the business owner because they have typically, essentially always, have a greater opportunity than the employees that are working for them. And God bless the business owners of the world. You give on to Caesar, you serve the person who is giving you that opportunity, who is giving you that job. I have no problem. Don't hear what I'm not saying. We love business owners, but understand that as an employee, you will have lesser opportunity than the small business owner. So the next step up is the small business owner, right? Still on this very active side of the equation. As a small business owner, I still need to trade a certain amount of my time and expertise and money in order to make my business go, in order to manage my employees, in order to continue to grow my revenues and make sure that I continue to remain profitable. Ultimately, that's very active. Ultimately, that's very hard to create a cash flow multimillionaire lifestyle as well. So, what can we do? Okay, out of the matrix. I was getting dizzy with the green. I don't know if it was. All right, anyways. So the last part, the other side of the equation is big business, which is 500 plus employees, which a small business can grow into a big business, or investments. Investments could be stocks, could be building an asset like a YouTube channel or a book that you can sell or a training program or other investments, traditional. I mean, there's cryptocurrencies, there's real estate. We understand what investments are. Essentially, you're getting your money to work for you, right? So you're either leveraging your money with investments or you're leveraging in a big business, you're leveraging other people's skills and expertise in a large, duplicatable, sustainable framework that you don't necessarily need to dedicate more time to, right? So it's kind of like in building any big business, the effort, you might start with putting in 120% effort and get no results. And as it builds, suddenly you're putting in 100% effort and you're getting 100, you're seeing 100% results you want. But as it duplicates and as it grows, you should be able to put progressively less and less effort, time, money into it, and it'd be able to grow and flourish without you. So that is the whole concept. That is the way we escape from the rat race. We change our lives. We change our finances. We understand that if we're on the active side of the equation, trading our time for money, Monday to Friday, a certain amount of money, we will always be on that hamster wheel. And even the greatest, best case scenario of the 40-40 plan isn't that great. Scraping by on Social Security and 6% of $500,000 is not living, in my view, living to the greatest aspiration of what our Creator has intended for us. I think the Creator, I think the energy, the universe, whatever you call it, it has intended us for greatness. It has intended us to accomplish great things and impact people. We're not just a fluke. So, all that being said, I hope that was impactful. Talking about a little bit of the problems with capitalism, and I'll talk a little bit. I love me some capitalism. Obviously, Cashflow Manifesto. I'm a capitalist, okay, but I'm a free market capitalist, as opposed to a bully capitalist that just says, "Hey, I got big fat checks, so I'm just going to squish out all the competition." A free market capitalist actually believes in the free market and being able to compete, and capital not ruling the world. So it's a distinction most people don't necessarily make, but I definitely parse out in the actual definitions of the words. So, fun facts. I hope ESBI totally blew your mind, because it did totally blow mine, and it simplified it so basically to say, okay, so if I'm doing something that's going to keep me on the employee or small business side of the equation, I will most likely be doing it forever, so I better like it all life. And I don't like anything that much. And I love a lot of things. I love poetry, I love music, I love the beach, I love traveling, I love music festivals, I love things. I don't love them that much. Even if hosting music festivals on the beach, I would get sick eventually, right? If it was my job. So that's the whole point. If I'm thinking about things, if I'm investing my time, money, and energy in the things that don't have the possibility of going into a big business, or creating enough cash on the active side that I can go into investments and eventually get onto the passive side, then I will be on the rat race forever. And I don't think enough people understand this. And the reason I don't think enough people understand this is because I have pursued this dream for 16 years. Entrepreneurship, financial freedom, law of attraction, revolution, for lack of a better word. Okay? Like, revolution of mindset, revolution of money. I have been on this and studying all this stuff for a long time. And it took me a long time to meet the people and find the books that actually talk about this stuff, which is ridiculous. And that's why, you got to get a little like spooky and like start turning off lights and tell people, oh, like secrets. Like they shouldn't be secrets. Everybody should know this. Did you guys know this? Comment down below. Let me know in the comments. I bet you didn't. I would bet probably 95% of the population don't know about ESBI. And the other 5% are investing in the market and have big businesses and are financially stable and free. For what that's worth. Well, I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this wonderful journey. I hope I didn't ramble too much. It didn't feel like too bad of a ramble. It felt like maybe like a 15-minute ramble after the reading. So maybe it was under a half hour. Hopefully. Either way, hopefully you stayed to the end and caught the big secrets in the matrix. All right. See you guys. Have a great one.